Jim Cramer blasts. Bearish billionaires says it's time to stop taking their investment advice. CNBC's Jim Cramer on Wednesday blasted bearish billionaires, saying everyday investors ought to stop listening to their stock market calls. It's time to end this ridiculous charade or bearish billionaires who have been negative for ages being allowed to come on air and say everything they want about how bad things are. Even as you have made so much more money being positive than they have in the last few years, the Mad Money host said, you can't take investment advice from oligarchs no matter how smart they sound, because they have a very different set of priorities and very different agenda from you, and we need to stop pretending. Otherwise, compared to everyday investors like the viewers of his show, Cramer said super wealthy people can afford to have total contempt for the stock market and their minimal risk. You only need to get rich once. Cramer said, adding that once the mega rich reach that pinnacles, the one true threat to them in inflation, because it erodes the values of their dollars. By contrast, many hourly workers in the US are seeing their wages go up right now. He said, I think many of the wealthy, wittingly or unwittingly, are pulling up the ladder behind them by scaring you away from the stock market with horror stories about the dangers of inflation lurking everywhere. Cramer said, it goes beyond dear inflation warnings of late. They're also scaring about away from some of the best stocks in the market that really don't have anything to do with inflation at all. He says, highlighting Tesla, Amazon, and Netflix as examples. Rich and powerful people spend years coming on air and taking trashes about all three. Cramer said, but he contended they've become some of the most successful companies of all time. Aside from a few expectations, Cramer urged retail investors to stop taking their cue from super rich money managers. Do you think it's a coincidence that so many hedge fund guys made giant bets against Tesla, Amazon, and Netflix and lost? I didn't think so. Cramer said, the people behind from those companies wanted to create wealth for their shareholder. They are willing to take huge risks for you in order to help you get rich long with themselves. If you held their stock for long, that's exactly what you did, he said. That's huge for the vast majority of people, but if you have already got $1 billion in, it's meaningless, which is where they have no appreciation for these companies or their evangelical leaders. Jim Cramer says that despite the bears' barrage of negativity, these three companies are now among the most successful and have made smart investors a lot of money.